Hi guys, welcome back and thank you for joining me on my morning routine for garden. So as you can see, my Darren Does Plants top is in the wash. So today, it's Darren wears Hawaiian shirts instead. Anyway, moving on. On the right, you can see me watering the planter, which I have documented in my previous videos. In here, I have corn and potatoes growing. I have to water these almost every day at the moment as it's so warm. And actually, rather surprisingly, the corn is doing really well in here. I'll be doing an update on these in my next video, so please keep tuned. So next, I'm going to be watering the Veronica plant that we have. At some point in this summer, we should see this flower into some beautiful purple flowers. Moving on, we then have a boxwood plant that is really suffering at the moment in this heat. This is also where we keep a little stone with our dog Shadow, who passed away recently. So every time we go out into the garden, we can remember him in his favourite spot. And then behind our boxwood plant, we have a cordyline, which is nicknamed a cabbage palm. It's got a palm-like appearance, so it's perfect for the current weather that we're having, as it can withstand plenty of time without water before it starts to suffer, much like a palm tree. And move on to our Festuca glauca, which has a wonderful bluish tint to it. It is really struggling again in the heat at the moment, but it does seem to be improving as to a couple of weeks ago. This might be due to the rain that we have had. I like to call this one our Albert Einstein plant, as it reminds me a lot of his crazy hair. We then move on to a shrubby Veronica, which is also known as a Marilyn Monroe, as when it flowers it is a beautiful deep purple which attracts bees and butterflies, which is amazing for the environment. On the other side, we have the cistus, which currently isn't doing too much, so I won't really touch upon this at all.
I did, tall pudding can.
On the left, we then have an armoria, which has recently been pruned, so it's currently not looking its best. This is due again to the hot weather and it has killed off all of the flowers that were on there. And finally, we have our eucalyptus plant, which has a bluey grey tint to it. And if it's cared for correctly, eventually it can grow into a tree that is several meters high. So now, moving on from the plants leading down the garden, we will move into my greenhouse. First, we'll open it up and I'll get my gloves on, and then I'll begin to show you how we're doing. We'll start off with the strawberries, and these are looking great. As you can see, the colour in them is looking fantastic, and the plant is looking super perky. The only downside to this is that we haven't actually seen a single bit of strawberry growth on these as of yet. So fingers crossed we should start to see them coming through in the near future. Next, we have the hot chili red plant, which currently has no chilies on it. But don't be alarmed, this is only because they were growing so well that I've had to harvest them all, and they're currently in the freezer waiting to be used. Next up are the chili seeds that I've planted from the chilies that we tried on the nachos. I dried them out on the windowsill, and as you know from a few videos ago, I then planted them. Not much to see here really, although I haven't had much luck growing anything in these trays, so here's hoping. We then have the snack pepper plant, which is looking incredible. Look at the size of this new pepper growing on it, with plenty of smaller ones also budding all around the top of the plant. Have the slightly less fiery chili plant. Again, these have none on them as they've all been harvested, and although this is looking droopy, it is only down to the current hot temperatures being so high. When it cools down slightly, it will start to look greener and perkier. Followed closely by this smaller pepper plant, which I had as a gift for my birthday, that's slowly finding its feet in the greenhouse. Here we have the two cucumber seeds that have decided to grow. As you can see, both are doing really well and adjusting to their new pots. With the one here that you can see, I've planted it into a pot that is fully decompostable. So when I plant it into soil, it will go straight in with the pot, and over time it will decompost and become part of the soil and dirt itself. We then have the lettuce, which was also a gift for my birthday, and really excited to see how these turn out. They're gradually adjusted to the greenhouse, and I look forward to having some in a burger. And finally, we have the snack cucumbers, and what can I say about these? They're doing so well, and we have yellow flowers growing on them, which indicates that we will have some more start to grow very soon. I have one really large juicy one here that's growing so well, and once they're ready, we'll be joining the lettuce in a burger. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.